Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me, as always, are my good friends, Hunter and Kyle. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
Dude, I think I'm still reeling from last week's episode.
You still
That
you
whole
can't do
thing
it? Oh, there they
was
are.
a journey.
The lower thirds just didn't want to show up. They're here now,
Oh.
though. They just showed up like they're just a bit shy, just a bit camera shy. I don't know what they did wrong, but you know, it's fine. My PC just seems to be. We were screen sharing a little thing earlier that we won't talk about right now, but my PC just was like, what if I ceased to exist? And just like they just went away for a couple of seconds. And I don't know. It's a train wreck as always. You guys all right? You had a fun week?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. It's been a really. It's been a really.
Theaters.
Yeah. You went to theaters.
I did.
What did you see?
What do you see?
New Sword Art Online movie came out,
Oh.
so I went out to go see that.
He had me in the first.
Did you watch Sword Art Online? Or is
Yeah.
this Oh.
I watched through all of it last year. Just
This is
on a
like
whim,
you-
I was bored, heard good things about it, and I'm like, you know what, I feel like it, let's check it out.
Well,
My
I've
sister
heard good
watched it when
things
I was in
about
high
like the
school.
first. Yeah, I've heard good things about. Sorry, I'm turning you down slightly, Hunter, because you're a bit loud on my end.
Oh.
Making the podcast look amazing straight away, having a big massive bar go over your head. But I've heard like the first season of Sword Art's really good, and then
Yes.
I've heard that it goes off a cliff after that.
The second one was weird. I will admit it went places.
But you know, I'm also not a weeb, so I wouldn't know any of that because
This is true,
my
and I have
attention
bad
span-
opinions,
yeah.
so I don't
It's
think
true.
we mean much in this discussion.
I don't know. Yeah. I wish I had time for anime, but it's like one of those things I just don't have time for because my attention span is short enough, and it's like I look at something like One Piece or Naruto or even anything that's not them two with like 3 seasons, and I go,
Dude.
that is way too much for me. Thank you. I like
Dude.
things with 12 episodes or less.
So a few weeks ago, I saw that they were bringing back Bleach for a new season, and I'm like, you know what? I should go back and check this out. Johnny Young Bosch is in it. He's cool. He plays Bleach in Bleach, and then I saw it was like
The
200
character's name
episodes.
is Ichigo.
Shut
his
up,
name is
Hunter. I don't
Bleach.
care.
His name is Bleach.
And then I saw the show was like 200 episodes, and I'm like, I don't have the motivation for this right now.
You know, I was the same way where it was like I heard it was last year where I heard Attack on Titan the final season was airing, and I was like, you know what? I should catch
That's
up on
been
Attack on
happening for
Titan.
like 3
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah, I know it has. And then I look it up, and then not only were there 3 seasons before it, then there was a 4th season called The Final Season, then there was a 5th season that was that one last year called The Final Season Part 2. And then now there's a 3rd and final season that's coming out this year. And I'm like, when is it ending? Half the show now is the final season, if you think about it, because there's 3 final seasons.
Yeah.
What is this? What is anime? And this is why I just watch my terrible rom-coms once a year and then walk away into the sunset like sayonara, can't be bothered,
So
thank
true.
you.
Dress Up Darling was a really good show.
It was. It had a bit of a dodgy one near the end, like one episode that was a bit like, I can see why Twitter
Yeah.
could have a field day with this one. But other than that one episode, fantastic. They're doing more. I can't wait to see what that is. I have trash taste in anime, but hey, what can you do? I feel like everyone has trash taste in anime, to be honest. If you watch
We all
anime, you
have-
probably have terrible taste.
There's
Yeah.
always that one show you don't want to bring up in your library.
Oh, that's like every show that I've ever watched. Like, I don't know. It's like, I just, like I say, I
I
don't
come
watch
off like I
shows.
watch more anime than I actually do. There was a meme circulating through the internet this week that was like, your little variety score. And
Yeah.
I got like a 11 on that when someone showed that to me. I was like, yeah. So I don't watch that much. I've just seen ones that people like to talk about.
See, the problem I have with that
Full
variety
Metal
score thing
and-
is like games. If that like I see the game variety score, that one goes around like every 3 months, the same damn list
Yeah.
where it's like, and I usually get like a 60 or a 70 on that. I'm pretty good when it comes to game variety. When it comes to like films or TV or the anime one, I'm like, for films and TV, I just don't watch like flat out. But anime,
Yeah.
it's like anime to me, I like to laugh at / with. I don't know what it is, but so most of the time, it's like I go towards comedies or rom-coms or slice of life just because I like the more light-hearted things. Also, I just like crying as well. That's why Your Name's like my favorite film ever. but it's like I just like gravitating towards those things, so that when I go to those anime score lists, and it's all like your Naruto's, your Attack on Titans, your Bleach, your Death Notes, all the kind of big action or like kind of serious anime, and I'm like, I've got nothing here, but I've watched nothing here. I've got like 2 rom-coms under my belt, and that's about it.
And
this
half
is
a
a game,
Cowboy
yeah.
Bebop.
And half of Cowboy Bebop, and this is a gaming podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? It's
Can't
a
wait till we
dire
talk
week.
about music later too.
Yeah, we're not. When
Well,
that's the
spoilers,
thing.
Hunter.
Spoilers, Hunter. That's the thing. Is obviously there's an elephant in the room, and it's a giant elephant, and it's one that we're just going to ignore. So we're trying to sidestep it, and Nintendo helped us.
His name
This
is
Nintendo
Elephant.
Direct.
He had a fun little party game back in the day.
Elephant the elephant. See him.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
I
I'm so
remember how the
glad that
rest
we
of the
both
ad
had that,
goes.
because most of the time when you guys make a reference, I won't get it, or vice versa. I'm glad that the elephant transcended the Atlantic.
Transcends the cultural barrier.
Hell yeah. An ocean may separate us, but elephant doesn't. Yeah, come on. Anyway, like I said, this is the HGO
That should be
podcast.
a
We talk about
clubhouse game.
games. Yeah, we talk about games sometimes. Find us on podcast services, search for Hot Gamers Only, or find us at youtube.com/Hot Gamers Only, where you can look at our stupid faces each and every week. No elephants here, though, unfortunately. Maybe we'll have to buy one. Maybe that'll go on the set for season 4. Maybe that's the big change.
If I
yeah,
buy
this-
it, could it be a tax write-off?
If we
We
made
don't
money
make
on
any
this,
money
yeah.
on this, so I don't think so.
But
But
could
you know,
it
if you
be?
go and subscribe to us on YouTube, you can make that dream one step closer to reality. Please subscribe, please. Thank you. This week Nintendo had a
Guys,
direct.
Elephant's only $27.
Oh, that's
steal.
That's a deal right there. I think if it's under 30, I think the Federal Trade Commission just lets you take it anyway. I think that's how it works. Nintendo had a direct. We're going to talk about that. Hunter's played a few games. We'll talk about that. It's not the game that came out this week that we're ignoring, and we'll ignore in April, and we'll ignore in July. Just
And
not
forever.
touching it. Get it
So
out of
true,
here.
bestie.
Yeah. But for those of you who care, we haven't played it. We're not talking about it. There you go. That's all you need to know. Me and Kyle listened to an album. We'll talk about that, and I probably need some help. What's new here? So there's plenty to talk about. I
It's
feel
just
like
another week.
I feel like the audience retention's already gone downhill because we have not talked about games in the first 8 minutes of our gaming podcast. But you know,
who cares?
who cares?
We know who
Elephant
the
is
real
a
ones
game.
are.
You've got a point. Elephant is a game. And to be fair, like, if you're listening to a niche gaming podcast, chances are you probably have watched an anime in your life. So I feel like something's got to be relevant. I feel like that's the thing, right? We've done so many topics, we've done so many things here. I feel like year 4, we're just going to get to a week when nothing's happening, no games are out, and we'll just be like, no, just talk about something that isn't video games. Because
It's
why
just
not?
a
Video
ramble.
games are like 15 minutes, and for the title
For the
and
thumbnail. Like,
thumbnail.
yeah, grab them in, boys, grab them in.
I like how we've spent the first 10 minutes of the show talking about TV and not even the video game adaptation
Well, you know,
TV
yeah.
show.
Oh, The Last of Us. I've been watching The Last of Us. I think The Last of Us TV show is fantastic. It's incredible. I'll wait till it to be fully over before I bring it up on the podcast, because what's the point of bringing up the one half of The Last of Us TV show when the second half might be garbage? We'll see.
Yeah, that's very true. I also haven't watched it. I was just
Me
thought it
either.
was funny.
Oh, I've
My sister
I've watched
told me
all of it
about
so
episode
far.
3
I've watched
though.
all of it episode 3 is
Interesting.
episode 3 is like a masterpiece. Like, genuinely, my opinion is, if you don't watch the show, if you've played the game, if you're not interested, whatever, fair enough. Just watch episode 3. It's like fantastic. It's like one of the best pieces of TV I've seen in like forever. It's really damn good. And I think like Chris Mason, the guy that's writing this with Druckmann, he wrote Chernobyl, which is another incredible show. He's just a genius. This guy can literally write about anything and make it the most interesting thing of all time, and the most depressing, and the most entertaining. He's just the man's a wizard, to be honest. Which makes me sad, because now I'm like, oh, we're never, like, this is his video game adaptation. Like, this is it. Like, he's adapted a video game to TV, and he's done an incredible job. But we're never going to get this quality ever again, probably. So we might as well just cherish it while we can, and just hold on to it, because it's really damn good. Anyway. Let's talk about Nintendo, who are also known for their
Boo.
gripping stories and their really, thought-provoking entertainment, such as Pikmin 4.
Hmm.
They
With
had a
the weird
direct.
looking dog thing.
We'll get to it. Nintendo had a direct this week, and if you were on the internet, I feel like I took a Twitter break at the worst possible time, so I've tried to catch back up. Looking at what people said on Twitter, it seems like it was one of those. I'd like to say standard directs nowadays, where it was either the greatest direct of all time and you had to be there, or it was a bit of a hit and miss, depending on your kind of taste. How are you guys? We'll talk about all the announcements, but how are you guys feeling in terms of the reception to this direct? Were you positive, negative, in the middle, lukewarm? What are you
Ah,
guys thinking?
I'm pretty positive on the whole thing. Hunter, we were talking about this before the show started, and a
Ooh.
lot of the stuff they showed in this direct was really good. It was just the pacing of the direct that was kind of a
Yeah, I didn't think
killer.
it was necessarily shown off in the best way, but just looking
Yeah.
at the snapshot of things that were shown, a lot of it does capture my interests.
Mm.
So, you know,
Yeah,
I'll
I
give it a
think the interesting thing for this one is it's the definition to me. This is of it's not this direct was not for me for the most part. There were some things that I was very excited about. There were some things that were great. There were some things that weren't great. But it's one of those ones where you can't deny that most of the stuff that they showed was quality stuff. That it's like if I'm
Mhm.
not interested about it, someone else will be interested about it. I just don't think it wasn't necessarily a slam dunk, and I think it's mainly because of the pacing. It had some extremely weird pacing to it. But some
for
people said the
sure.
exact
For
same
sure.
about the one from last year, and last February's direct to me was like incredible. It was like I loved that one, but mainly because Xenoblade 3 was announced and it was pretty hype. So it's a bit of a like I say, it's an interesting one. So what was first up on the list, Cal? You're gonna run us through everything that was
Yeah.
happening.
So thank you, Nintendo Life, for compiling everything into into when it was shown.
Big up Nintendo
Big
Life.
up. Very
Thank you.
helpful.
Liam Doolin and Gavin Lane. Also, shout out to Alex from Nintendo Life because you have a very nice voice. I like watching your Nintendo Life videos, Alex. Thank you. Very cool.
Anyways, first up on the roster was Pikmin 4 of
Mhm.
getting announced and getting a release date for July 21st of this year.
Which I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like Nintendo's had a curse recently where they reveal a game, put a year on it, and everyone goes, "Okay, add a year to it," because that's always what happens. So fair play to them. They're actually going to hit it this time. My big question is, I'm not really a Pikmin fan.
Me
Like,
neither.
Me
and I'm
either.
not gonna lie to you, right? So it's like, I'm sure for Pikmin fans, this trailer was great. They're like, "There's a dog. What's going on here? This is crazy. I'm having the time of my life." I really struggled to even tell a difference between 3 Deluxe and this. Like, it was
Yeah.
if you showed me a screenshot of either of them and it didn't include the dog, I would not have a clue of like what the difference here is really. But I'm happy. Like I'm glad people are getting it. I feel like Pikmin fans have been waiting forever for this, so it's a good one.
Oh yeah.
I also think it sets your expectations because usually the starts and the ends of directs are typically surprises, and the fact that the start and the end of this direct were kind of predictable really screams
Yeah.
to me. And I think this is why, in my opinion, it was a very weird direct. Is Nintendo always does this thing where they're like, this direct will focus on the first half of the year, or this direct will focus solely on 2022 titles, and then they'll
And then
have
they
a
broke the
couple of
rule
bangers that you
immediately.
don't see coming that they're like, like the one that was like, we're focusing solely on 2022 games last year, and then they were like, 2021 games, and then they were like Splatoon 3 coming 2022, and you're like, what? Like
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Why announce that in January or February? This had one game that was like that, which is near the end, and it wasn't even their game. It was a third-party game by Level 5. So I was like, very weird for Nintendo to actually do that, where they actually stick to their
Yeah,
guns.
actually stick to the rule. It is perplexing because they normally don't. Like you could think of if you think back to all of the ones in recent memory, like there was the Smash Brothers reveal with the Inkling nonsense.
Last
That was a whole year. That was a whole year early.
last year they announced Xenoblade. They said that it was first half of 2022. They announced Xenoblade for September. It did end up being first half because it got pushed forward to June.
Yeah.
But it wasn't originally
It wasn't
supposed
meant
to be that way.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that direct also showed Splatoon that ended up being a second half game. It's like, it's very weird, and I feel like, I know we're always ringing the death bell here on the Switch. We're like, get the fucker out. I feel like Nintendo is slowing down a bit. I feel like there's a reason they're not announcing 2024 games, and I feel like it might be because they like. I'm not saying people are like early 2024. I think we probably still have like another year and a half. Probably it'll probably be the end of the year.
Dude, if they wanted to, they could probably come up with a way to coast for 2 years, but I don't think
They
that's
will. Yeah.
I don't think they will. It's just like they could start porting 3DS games.
Oh, I'm also 100% on the. I'm 100% on the belief that Switch 2 will be Switch 2 or whatever it is, and it'll be backwards compatible. And I feel like Nintendo doesn't want to lose that install base. They'll probably have games that release on both of them, and they just look shinier on the new one. Is probably what will happen. I'm not expecting Nintendo to jump ship entirely and be like, look, this thing has 3 screens and it's only docked to the TV, and you just have to look at the 2 screens while you're looking at the TV. And it's like, it's like
3 screens. One of them's a hologram projector, like from Star Wars when they're talking to each other.
Oh my god.
Exactly. But I feel like Pikmin is definitely like, it feels like a late gen game. Like it feels like a last in the generation kind of thing where Nintendo's picking up what they haven't done yet.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo has been very specifically one title per generation for a while now. Except for like the odd Zelda game that crosses over, or Splatoon for some reason, which, looking back at it now, I'm still perplexed by that because I thought they'd do more with Splatoon 3, but hey ho, they added in gobblers. Oops, spoilers for later.
We'll bully that one later.
But the dog's very cute. The game's out in July. I probably won't pick it up just because I feel like Pikmin's not for me. I feel like I'd be bored shitless. I still haven't played any more Fire Emblem, and I'm supposed to like Fire Emblem. So, it's a weird one. Anyway, next up.
All right, so next up, this was a February Direct, so we got to get the obligatory feeding of the Xenoblade fans out of the way.
It's true.
It's been happening the last 3 years. We got to keep up tradition.
It genuinely has.
Yeah. First with Pyra and Mithra and Smash, and then last year with Xenoblade 3 release date. But yeah, Xenoblade 3's expansion pass going to be coming. Wave 3 is going to be coming out on the 15th, and then they also showed off a little teaser trailer for Wave 4, a short little 26-second trailer that had the whole community just exploding.
I mean, here's the thing. We were like 99% sure that both Rex and Shulk were going to be in the DLC. We were like 99.9% sure. But you're still hyped when you finally get the 100% confirmation,
Yeah,
I think Alvis is also very cool, seeing him again. Obviously, him coming back is fun. There's obviously a load of fun with the teasers and stuff like that. People trying to figure it out. What's happening in the world? Is this
the dude that just looks like the pro tag from Xenogears? That's pretty epic.
Who also might be older Noah or might be a distant relative of Noah. We don't know who this is because it stands to chance. Both Shulk and Rex are older. Maybe this is this where does this take place? Is this the Founders thing? But why is Elvis there? And someone very much nicely on Reddit pointed out that the only letter of the alphabet that isn't a console is A, so Alvis would make sense. But also, I feel like we would why would everybody know about Zed if they weren't fighting Zed in the past? It just we don't know. I don't know. I still don't know what this is. Nothing feels like it adds up.
Dude, this is why I also love Monolith Soft. Like in their trailers, they give you just enough to get excited and speculate on, while also telling you nothing about what they're doing, and I think that's hilarious.
Like you say, you just don't know where this is going, and it's like, is this a prequel again? Is it something else entirely? Who knows what it is? We'll see when it comes. And
or was this just a random cutscene they took out of context and isn't even important at all? Who knows?
That would be my favorite outcome. It would be really funny.
Yeah, it just I don't know. To me, it's like, obviously we're getting Shulk and we're getting Rex. I feel like it'd be very underwhelming for them to do the exact same thing they did with 2, which is why I don't think they will do the exact same thing with 2. I think
Yeah.
them just showing the failure of the past characters again for a second side DLC that turns into its own game would be a very boring story. So I don't think they're going
Yeah.
to do that.
Because the other
Um,
thing with the trailer is, I guess this is like minor spoilers for Xenoblade 3 coming up, but
okay, you have
with
been
the
warned. Skip 2 minutes if you
yeah,
or have
it's
not played Xenoblade 3.
with the founder statues
Yeah.
in the city. They talk about two characters that are basically Shulk and Rex. On the Shulk character, they said that he lost his arm, and on the Rex character, they said he lost his eye. But if you look at the trailer, both Shulk and Rex have all their body parts. So
Mhm.
I don't know what it means. I don't know. We don't know anything, and I think that's incredible.
It's
I'm
gonna
here
be
for Takahashi's wild ride.
like I say, it's gonna be fun. My guess is it's probably gonna have that August September release date again, like the original
Mhm.
Torna did, just because Zelda in May, Pikmin in July makes sense for it to be a back half of the summer kind of game. I hope it gets a physical and separate release like the last one did.
So do I.
Please, and please don't make 5 copies of us and make it fight on my Nintendo, because for the love of God, I do
God.
not want to do that. Torna was a very
I'm
nice
not
game to
strong
get
enough
a
to do
copy
that
of.
again.
I don't have the patience. Fun fact, Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition, I could have pre-ordered it. I saw it
Oh,
go live.
was that one actually like easy to get, or
If you were quick enough, if you noticed you had like an hour basically to pre-order it if you wanted it. Um, but I looked at it. It was over double the price, and all you get is a fucking steel book, a poster, and an art book. Fuck off.
you don't even like steel books
I
or
don't
posters.
like steel books. I like art
Or
books. But here's the thing.
posters.
Oh, you can't see it on the screen, but my Xenoblade Collector's Edition. Say what you want about it, but all the bits and bobs is basically the same thing, except you get a steel poster in the Zelda one. The editions was only like 25, £30 or something, so including the game, it only would have been like 80. Whereas this one's asking for 120. What, like, Nintendo be Nintendo. But I'm very excited for the Xenoblade DLC. We'll be talking about the new hero modes, the new hero like quests and stuff like that next week. I'm sure. Maybe Kyle will play a bit of the roguelike mode.
Yeah, they also showed like a roguelike
Yeah.
mode.
Oh
Which
yeah, that kind
Seems
of
Which is
interesting
cool.
enough.
They said that, and I didn't really process it until like a minute later. I'm like, huh. Neat.
It's a cool idea, and I also think that people were saying that the challenges that they did add in the challenge mode to the first DLC were a bit too easy. So I feel like this
Yeah.
might be a nice thing where you can't go in with your own loadout fully prepared, fucking buffed up to you to the highest standards, and then just go in and roll. I feel like this is going to be a
Lucky
much
7 go Bert.
yeah. I think this might be a much more interesting thing. But like I say, mainly it's DLC 40s. Very excited for it. Hope we see. If that is Noah, I hope we also see Mio, and if that isn't Noah, I hope we see Noah as well, because I have genuinely, ever since that game came out, I've become a Harry McIntyre stan. I need Harry McIntyre in my life. Adam Howden, I know you have your fans, but I'm sorry, but I'm a Harry McIntyre stan. You can fuck off. Give me Harry McIntyre. Thank you. I love you though, Adam, as well.
To be honest, yeah, the old characters are not as much of a selling point as it would be to just have Noah and friends pop up for something else.
Mm-hmm.
For me, anyway.
Don't get me wrong. Like I like Rex and I like Shulk as well. I like both of them, but also Noah is by leaps and bounds the best protagonist Xenoblade Chronicles has had. So please, for the love of God, at least have them in it in some way, shape, or form. I hope it's not just the Fire Emblem nostalgia-filled pandering, because I'm sure we'll see both. I'm sure we'll see Nia and Melia and Pyra and Mithra at some point as well, but. Please, for the love of God, don't just have that be it. Please don't be a nostalgia fest. I'd love to have some actual story too. That'd be great. Thank you. We should probably move on because we could talk about this all day, to be honest.
Yeah. We can rapid fire these next two. Samba de Amigo,
Speak to your
Monkeys
fucking
with
self,
Maracas
bro.
game.
Oh man.
Okay,
that
I'm
looks
sorry.
like-
I forgot you're a Samba stan.
Oh, I absolutely. You know what they say, dude. Every day I can't come up. I can't think on the fly. I do like the look of this game, though. I will not play it, but I respect it for the sole fact of it has the same kind of it has the same kind of system as the Persona dancing games with the 3 rings on the side, but you have to do stupid movements. So they lost me. If you just told me that it was the
If
sound,
it was
just
just
it was
buttons.
another Persona dancing game, I was like, hell yeah, I'll buy this. But
Yeah.
if you can turn the motion controls off, then I would 100% be into that. Also, I did not know that this was an actual game series. I knew that it was kind
Yeah.
of a game series because it was in Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, but I was like, wow,
That
okay, they
information
actually.
passed me by too. I thought it was just some silly monkey with maraca
I
game.
thought it was just like
I
a
mean, I think it was
mascot or
just like some
something.
Wii shovelware or something
Yeah,
like that.
not
But
that much. I knew it was GameCube era. I knew it was like GameCube-ish,
yeah,
but like Dreamcast-ish. I don't know. Anyway, we can
I don't
skip
know.
over Fashion Dreamer though if you want.
Yeah,
That's
nothing to
fine.
say there.
That looks like the
Ethan does
most
not have the
fucking
passion for
like.
fashion.
I just don't get these kinds of games. Like, I get the audience that they're catering to, like, like young children, mainly like young like girls who like are really into fashion. Understand that. I just don't understand why they always make them look the shittiest quality possible. Like, God, can you just put make one of these? Make a good one though. Can you make something that's actually cool looking instead of like these generic like me looking asses that are walking around with like awful texturing? Like,
Yeah.
I get that it's for children, but put some effort in, like a little bit. Come on, just a little. Anyway, sorry, little vent. Not gonna play it, but
Just gotta put it out there.
I hate when they make these games that are specifically, like, especially for like young like girl audiences, like like 8 to like 12-year-olds, right? And then they just
Yeah.
put no effort into them. It's like if it was a game for like 8 to 12-year-old like boys, they'd probably put some more effort into it. And I'm
Yeah,
just like,
8 to 12-year-old guys get games that, potentially the adults will even come along and like
oh, if you made like a
sometimes to
sick
an
fashion,
unhealthy level.
like if you could
High
make like, if you
Pokemon.
made like, oh, trust me, if you made like a sick fashion game where you could like actually make designs and make clothing and stuff like that and share it online and do a proper job of it, I'm sure there'd be some adults that are into that as well, to be honest.
Oh yeah, like if you
properly
could
into
make
that.
it just like the greatest character creator since Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an audience for that. Like, go on, do it. Anyway, next up.
Next up, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, March 6th, 2023. This shit looks cool.
Oh, I haven't played Dead Cells yet, and I probably won't have the time to get to this when it comes out. But when I eventually do jump into this game, I can't wait to just do this along with it because it is very pleasing to look at all of this. I like that Castlevania exists in some capacity in a video game again that isn't just ports of the old games, even if it is like this. Even if it is like an indie project and not like an official like
The full thing.
I
full
mean,
thing, but I still believe that this will be quality because Dead Cells seemed to be quality before, and hopefully this will lead to maybe the developer getting to make a full-on Castlevania game or something soon.
Hopefully.
well, you know what Konami's like. Like, have you seen how many Silent Hill games they have in development?
All you have
right
to
now?
do is ask for the property now,
genuinely,
and you can.
Genuinely, I think that Konami is willing. I would put money on there being a Castlevania game announced in the next 2 years. I would like put money on it because Konami just seems to just be licensing out their IP entirely. There'll be an indie studio or there'll be some kind of not AAA developer, but like a middle tier developer that's just like, hey, do you know what? We just feel like making an old school Castlevania game, and Konami will be like,
Eric
yeah,
Williams
sure.
wants to make one.
It'd be a great project for an indie, like not like a small indie team, but like a more established indie team to have a go at. That'd 100% be an IP that I could see them doing.
Yeah, like it would be super interesting to see. Like the only example that's coming to mind right now is Team Cherry from Hollow Knight, but any team like that that's like delved into the thing and was clearly influenced by it, it would be cool to see make one.
Yeah, the only one I could think of was obviously the Shovel Knight team, but they're making Mina the Hollower, so I was
Yacht
like,
Club,
someone
they're
like
already-
that could make something like that. But regardless, I feel like Castlevania will be back at some point. But Dead Cells, it looks like they're doing a great job with the IP. Regardless,
Their version of Bloody Tears that they had in this trailer was amazing.
So
by the way,
good.
it was so
good.
Okay, next up.
After that, Tron Identity. It's a Tron video game.
It is by Mike Biffle, who is incredible. He's a great indie developer. Made Thomas Was Alone, made Volume, Subsurface Circular, Quantum Circular.
John Wick
uh,
Hex,
yeah, John Wick Hex. Biffle Games is
Solitaire
really
Conspiracy.
talented. They're really talented and they're really good. So I'm really excited for people who are fans of Tron. I'm not a fan of Tron, so it's not like up my alley. I probably won't be picking this one up. But you know, it looks like it's like that. It looks like they're circular games, which are both fantastic, which I played. So I'm sure it'll be great. And April 11th is a release date. So
Yeah.
cool.
After that, Ghost Trick came back. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective for summer 2023. So this was a DS game that was from the creators of the Ace Attorney series.
And I assume this is a remake or remaster, right?
Yeah, HD remaster.
Mm-hmm.
Ever
I don't know
since
much
becoming
about
an
the
Ace
specifics.
Attorney fan back years ago, this is one of the games, along with Danganronpa, that I just kind of heard of and be like, okay, not going to look any further into. I want to play it someday, and now I have the chance to do that
Hell
sometime
yeah.
this year, hopefully. I'm
Summer
very
2023?
excited to be able to do this.
Yeah, this is one of those announcements where everyone was like, best Nintendo Direct ever, like, you know, everyone hyped to fuck. As a
all
normie,
5
this
Ghost
does
Trick
as a
fans.
as a normie, this does nothing to me. Like, I don't care. But I'm happy that people get to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I didn't know about Ghost Trick already existing, you know, I like mystery games. It seems to be a good one. So, you know.
Yeah, Ghost Trick was always something I'd like heard about, but never really bothered to look deeper into what it was. But you know, happy for people who are happy. A few people I follow on Twitter were popping off, so you know, good for y'all. After that, we got the Deca Police.
Oh,
This was
fun.
this was that weird game, Hunter. You said that you'd be interested in it if the characters didn't look like children.
Yeah, I was kind
Well,
of
it was
mocking. I was mocking the trailer while I was like seeing
Yeah.
it in action because there's nothing about it that was necessarily stand out. It looked kind of like just a weird mashup of, you know, another kind of, you know, mystery thing plus
Mm.
RPG
looks
elements. The
Yeah,
fact
it's
that
from
it's being
level
made by
5.
Level 5 suddenly intrigues me a little bit more just because I trust them as a developer to make something decent at least. I liked Dark Cloud a lot. People really like the Layden games, and I want to try those out. My brother really likes Ni no Kuni. Like, I'd be interested to give this more of a chance now that I know who's making it than I would have. It had been a studio that I'd never heard of.
it just
Its art
I
style
don't
is weird, though. I don't vibe with it.
Yeah, me
I don't
either.
know. Yeah, we'll talk about this later with the Spike Chunks. Not the Spike Chunks, the Danganronpa team, whatever the new Danganronpa team's called. You know that new the game that they're
Yeah, the
making,
Raincoat game.
Raincoat
Yeah.
game. There's just something about these games that I'm just like, I just don't like the way they look, and they just kind of like the whole crime kind of detective thing. I'm like, I played AI the Somnium Files. AI the Somnium Files was a very good video game. I liked it quite a lot. And now everybody else is like, look, here's my police detective thing where you've got to go and solve a mystery. Then it's anime style. And then here's another one from the team of Danganronpa with creepy looking fucking characters. And why is everyone
also talk-
children? And it's just like, I'm kind of sick of this children being detectives, weird graphics, like video games, please. Can we make something else? Like, it looks fine.
It's also
Um,
funny that they showed this right after Ghost Trick was shown, which is
It was
another
really funny.
exactly.
mystery.
This is a very
crime
mystery
solving.
heavy, like, if you like exclusively like those kind of games, you'll be eating good for a little while.
Like,
This is-
don't get me wrong,
This
it
is
looks
like the
like
September Direct when all they announced was farming games.
genuinely, it looks like it's really high quality. And like you say, it's level 5, so it's probably going to be a very good game. It's just, to
Yeah.
me, it looks very generic anime kind of detective thing. And I don't need that in my life
Yeah.
at the moment. You know, all I can say is from this is, at least when I look at this one, I just go, okay, could you just not have made another Danganronpa? Like, at least it's like, this one I'm like, yeah, it's level 5. They're doing Layton as well, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of generic anime, Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the
I
Lost
still,
Demon.
I still, I
March
really
17th.
want, I really, really want to know why this game was greenlit. And what I mean by that is, this is a cool little Easter egg in Bayonetta 3. This is a cool little, maybe...
I still would have been really upset if I discovered that organically before it was announced.
Cool Easter egg. Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's a cool little Easter egg. It make a really good kind of... If there was a Bayonetta season pass, this would make a really good little side thing that was in the season pass that was like a little 3-hour adventure or whatever, or like a little standalone eShop thing. I don't understand who the market is for this Bayonetta spin-off that's in a children's art book kind of style, that's a full price game that doesn't play like Bayonetta, that comes out less than like what, November, December, January.
It comes out in
less than 5 months after the release of Bayonetta 3. It just kind of, I just don't like. I get that Deca Police level 5 fans and people that like that shit will play it and they'll have a great time and it'll probably be a really good game. But I just don't understand who the market for this game is. I genuinely don't.
Also, Bayonetta as a child is the least appealing version of Bayonetta to ever exist.
Yeah.
So it's true, because you've taken out all of Bayonetta's adult characteristics, and what I mean by that is, she's a very kind of expressive character, to put it in the most PG friendly way possible, and all you've done is you've taken all that out and you've just replaced her with the most annoying kind of child, a British child, the most annoying type of character on the planet. Like, I don't like child protagonists regardless, never mind a British child protagonist. Oh my god.
They are the worst, aren't they? My brother was playing the Gen 8 of Pokemon the past couple of weeks and he was just telling me dialogue from it. And I was like, oh, yeah. Of course. I have heard them say pants in the negative as an adjective before.
Yeah. What a load of rubbish. But no, it's like I say, Platinum's, like I say, Bayonetta, it's a very, frankly, for better or worse, it's a very horny franchise. So the fact that they've got children's book spin-off with a child version of our protagonist is very weird to me.
Could you imagine getting like bait and switched the opposite way? Like, imagine if Bayonetta 3 didn't just come out and this was released before or something as like a little, and imagine, that this coming out seeming, I don't know, mild by comparison to the rest of them, be like, oh yeah, pick it up for your kid. It's probably still got like an M rating. Yeah. I don't know what its ESRB is, but
quickly head over to a website to find that out.
Pick it up, let your kid at least look at it, and then imagine them being interested in that, and then seeing what the rest of the series is, and be like, "Oh no, I can't let them play that."
At least in the UK, it's a PEGI 12, so it actually is a lower age rating.
That's hilarious. Like, imagine if this happened the other way; it'd be so funny.
And it's just like I say, I just don't get what this is for. It's like, I don't even like Bayonetta that much. I like my favorite part of Bayonetta is the ridiculous set pieces and the music, to be honest. So it's like, even as someone
that's gonna be in this game,
and even as it's like, even as someone who doesn't like how overly horny it is, and I cringe and I go, great, another fucking video game that I don't want anyone walking in while I play it. As much as I don't like that stuff, it's like that is what makes Bayonetta a lot of the time Bayonetta. That and the the hack and slash action that has the stupid like animations and all the hair transform or transformations. To have none of that and just replace it with what looks to be like a puzzle game with like fucking weird art style, like weird children's book art style, and a British kid, ew, cringe. Get it out. Not about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Ethan, are you about Splatoon 3 DLC?
I've already bought it. I have.
Oh my god!
Yeah, of course I am. Well, no, here's the thing, right? I bought it off of a third-party website because if you're ever in the UK and you want cheaper video games, because well, of course you do. It's the UK. We already have to pay more. A lot of the time, this is not a sponsor, not even related to them. It's like I use Shop2 a lot of the time because they have stuff below registered retail price a lot of the time. It saves me a load of money.
Yeah, it's like how PlayAsia always has cheaper stuff too.
Yeah, it really helps when you're trying to run a video game podcast and not use all of your expendable income on video games. It helps quite a bit. So they had it cheaper, and I did this for the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass as well when I did it. But the problem is their codes, once you bought them, you can't put them into the system, like boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, can't put them in until the actual first piece is released, because you can't enter codes to pre-orders for some reason, because Nintendo's stupid. So I've just got a code on their website, just waiting, sitting there one day. One day I'll log in, boop boop boop, plop it in, and then I'll have my own Inkopolis. I can't wait.
So true, bestie.
But yeah, if you ever want cheap games, go to Shop2. Pretty good if you're in the UK, or Play Asia. Play Asia's also pretty good, but you will probably get an Asian copy of the game.
So yeah, for Splatoon's expansion pass, we got Wave 1, literally just Inkopolis from the first game.
Yeah.
That's it. Doesn't do anything special. It's just a new hub. New in big quotation marks.
I am really curious to know, because obviously they said they have a home Splatfest thing. I really want to know, this is the thing that I'm interested in. Will there be like a toggle in the options menu for you to swap the hub? Because they said that everything's the same. It's just like, I wonder if there'll be a toggle. Because if there is a toggle, I might as well do it, because the fucking frame rate in Splatsville's really fucking awful.
God, it's so bad.
I'd be very willing to do that. I think the only save, like, it's a really stupid DLC, but everyone knows that really you're just after the single player expansion. And that's part 2.
Yeah.
And this is like a little bonus before it starts. So I'm completely fine with it. Also, the pricing of it, it's cheaper than, like, say, it's cheaper than the Xenoblade expansion pass and stuff like that. So, you know that you're going to get the single player DLC, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be good. But this first part, let's be real, it's stupid. It's a funny idea, but also they could have put more into it. You also get some bonuses if you do buy it.
I can't wait for the final Splatfest for Splatoon 3 to be like, the idol groups of the respective 3 games being like, which one did you like the most?
Well, I think
it's Squid Sisters, and it's not even close.
Well, you see, I worked it out, right? Because I was like, why have they done an Inkopolis? And I worked out, because obviously Splatoon 3 base game, the story mode and the multiplayer is very much about Deep Cut, Shiver Fry Big Man. And they've already said the story DLC, which is, the second half of it, is going to focus on Pearl and Marina a lot. So it's like, oh, well, Callie and Marie were in the main story for Splatoon 3, but they don't really have anything really going for them, so they just brought back Inkopolis, and you can see them dance again at the Splatfest. That's basically what they've done, is because they're like, oh, the other 2 are focused a bit more. It's just very weird. You could have done a bit more. Like I said, what would have been a really cool idea was remastering all of the Splatoon 1 maps, having them go into regular rotation in Splatoon 3, and then just having, if you go to Inkopolis and play through that way, it just only locks the Splatoon 1 maps in, so you can like have an OG kind of Splatoon 1 lobby.
That would be cool.
That would be.
That would require effort. Nintendo just wanted to copy and paste the Wii U assets.
So true, bestie.
Anyway.
Speaking of
Fire
copy
Emblem
and
also got
pasting,
expansion.
Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh my god, can you believe it?
There's not much to say here. They just added more character rings.
They added Robin.
And Crom.
No, they
And
didn't.
Crom.
That's in the next wave.
He's in the thumbnail, so how am I supposed to fucking know?
You just got jebaited.
Sorry,
They're all the
Crom.
same wave if you don't buy it. So
true.
They're all in the same wave, waving goodbye. Like,
Yeah.
No,
Stop
dude,
it,
this
Phil.
wave gave us Hector.
Dude, maybe
Everyone's
I'll
favorite
play.
character, Hector.
Like I say, I still haven't
Who is
gotten past the
Hector? Which
tutorial
game is
in
he
that game.
in?
He's from the first GBA one, the one with Lynn.
Oh.
I don't remember what that one was called. That was either Sacred
Was it just
Stones or
called
Binding
Fire
Blade.
Emblem?
It might have just been called Fire Emblem. I don't know. Anything before Awakening is all just a mystery to me.
That's funny. But no, their DLC looks very generic, and then unlike the Xenoblade story one, where it was very hype for their story expansion, they showed a clip of the story expansion to the Fire Emblem Engage, and I genuinely was like, is this supposed to mean something? because it just looked like, oh, it's more Fire Emblem. Engage is such a weird game, man. It sat on a shelf for a year. Now you're getting DLC about it. Like, at least the Three Houses one had this interesting thing of like, oh, there's a fourth house and they live underground and they're emo and shit. And like this one just looks like nothing. I don't know. It's weird, but it's coming out anyway. You can get Crom now if you feel so inclined to give them $30.
Oh, doctor.
You lucky sons of bitches. Anyway, what's next?
So they're from The Blazing Blade, is what their game is called.
I think that's Roy's game. That was the name of his B move in Smash Bros.
Anyway.
No, that one had Roy's brother in it.
Oh,
That
Troy.
sounds
I love
stupid.
Troy. Anyway.
Troy's our boy. Anyways, next up was Harmony, The Fall of Reverie.
I don't remember
That's
this
what that
one.
word says me either.
It's the Don't
I think
Nod
they lost
game.
me because of Fire Emblem.
Well, anyway, it was a Don't Nod game with a cool looking art
Oh, this is
style.
Don't Nod?
Yeah,
With music from Celeste's composer.
yeah,
Oh,
it
doctor.
had, yeah. So I didn't really process most of this while I was watching it the first time. I had to
I
like
don't think
just
I
kind of
processed any of this.
I had to look at it afterwards, but yeah, Don't Nod plus the cool art plus Lena Rain, appealing to me. I might check this out. I don't remember if there was a date for it or anything.
It's
but
June 2023, and it is available everywhere. It's not just a Nintendo Switch game. It is available on PS5 and X. It's very weird. No PS4 or Xbox One, but it's on Switch, and it's on the
that
next-gen
is weird.
consoles.
But
Hmm.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how, because Don't Nod seems to have distanced themselves from the Life is Strange kind of.
They're not doing another Life is Strange.
Yeah, they're
You
not
can very
doing
clearly
more
tell.
of that. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see them do something else. I hope it works out for them.
So do I.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of, like I say, Life is Strange is a very weird IP right now, because it's like you've got Deck 9, but that's about it. And Deck 9 worked on True Colors for ages, and it's like, Square Enix is the kind of company that don't like sitting on IP. They don't like sitting on it. Like everybody else, Atlas will be like, yeah, we'll wait a decade for a new Persona game. We'll release a load of shitty spin-offs, but we'll wait a decade. Square Enix is just like, chuck that fucker at the fan, dude. Like, there we go. What's that? 16? FF16 is going to take a while. Fuck it. We'll remake 7. Just chuck that shit. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Choo-choo, motherfucker. Anyway. I do wish the best was. Well, maybe we'll check it out when I see what
Yeah,
the game
might.
actually is. Maybe I'll check it
Yeah.
out. It's got an interesting art style, regardless.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
next?
Disney Illusion Island. This is like a 4-player platformer game where he plays the Mickey Mouse group.
It's the new
Kinda reminded me
animation
a lot of-
style. Yeah, it's the new
Reminded me
animation
a lot of
style.
Rayman Legends.
It does look a lot like Rayman Legends. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it looks like a fine platformer, to be honest. It looks like, am I gonna play it? Probably not. But
No.
it looks it looks like a fully functioning platformer. And the thing
It had online multiplayer too, right?
I think the thing that I like about Disney's game strategy at the moment is they just go give the IP to developers that want to do the shit that we were like, that want to work with us. Like Warner Brothers has
Yeah.
Rocksteady, they have WB Games Montreal, and then they keep making these weird games because Warner Brothers is trying to make their own games, whereas Disney's just like, yo, Insomniac, you want to make Spider-Man? Yo, you go make Spider. Hey, Mike Biffle, what's that? You want to work with Tron? Well, we're not using that IP, so fucking have it. Like, go nuts, go to town. You want to make a Mickey Mouse platform? You can go for it. It's like
Yeah.
they have a couple of whiffs, like Avengers, but it seems like for the most part they're making decent games where it's like, oh, okay, they might be for niches and stuff like that, but hey, they're making games that at least look like
I mean, as
video
long as
games
they're
and not like
satisfying
cash
those
grabs.
niches.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't look like a cash grab to me. It does look like a very
Mm.
decent
No,
platformer.
it does look like a respectable platformer.
And it's out on July 28th.
Oh man.
Draft it now for your fantasy league.
I don't know if I'm that confident. How can I? I'm on negative 3 points. I can't afford risky plays. People who's got Crash Team Rumble.
That he can't drop because Kyle counterpicked it.
I'm losing this year. And
true,
it's
fantasy.
but at least I can say I have the moral high ground. Anyway, carry
Good
on.
for you.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean
good
shit
for
in the
you.
league.
Scoreboard.
Good for you. Go
Wait until the
woke,
Horizon
stay
remake
broke, am
comes
I
out later
right?
this year, and I fucking pick it up. Just you watch. Just you watch.
Until what happens?
The
The Horizon
Is that
remake
what you
comes
just-
out.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh my god.
I'll do
Well,
it.
speaking of redoing things, Advance Wars 1 and 2, it's real, and it's out on April 21st. After like 2 years of being frozen
shadow
in
dropped.
time.
Do you want to know something
Not
funny?
shadow dropped.
Do you know something funny that I didn't realize? And I want you guys to now realize this too. Okay.
Alright.
I was watching a video by Kyle Bossman, who is a very funny guy. He works with Jeff Keighley a lot. He used to be part of Easy Allies. I like him quite a lot. And he was like talking about the Nintendo Direct, and he was like, every game showed gameplay except for Advanced Wars. And it's true. They only showed the animated cutscenes. They did not show a single bit of gameplay for this because obviously of Advance Wars. So they didn't mention wars at all. They didn't mention that it was like a war strategy game. They just say strategic fun for everybody. Like, come and think on your feet, as they don't show a single bit of gameplay and then just chuck the shitter out. Like, they have genuinely condemned this game to just be chucked in the fucking bin. Like, that's it. And I was like, that's crazy. They genuinely didn't show a single bit of gameplay at all.
Poor Way Forward. They don't deserve this.
I know.
Oh, I think that the people who like Advanced Wars are going to pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
April has like Star Wars and stuff, so I'd be interested to pick this up at some stage because like I was fascinated by it before, and then it got put on ice for a year.
I know.
And,
it's just very weird to
after
me.
River City Girls, I'm down for just about anything Way Forward does.
I just thought it was very baffling. I was like, it's actually quite funny that they didn't show a single piece of gameplay.
It is funny, but
yeah,
like
when everything else got gameplay, it's just very weird. Obviously, other than like a couple like like Don't Nods game stuff like that, but
yeah,
all of Nintendo's games that they showed had gameplay.
yeah.
Very weird.
All right.
Anyway, up next,
Octopath Traveler 2 got a demo announcement
it's
and
coming.
a new trailer. I played the demo, pretty good. I'm excited for this game.
me too.
It looks great.
Game looks super fucking pretty.
It really annoys me that the second one's coming to PlayStation, but the first one isn't on PlayStation. That just really annoys me.
That is
It's
super
gonna
silly.
it's
It
gonna
doesn't-
show up. I
See, I
guarantee it.
feel like
weird
it
that
isn't.
it hasn't yet, though.
I feel like
it
Xbox
would
got
have.
it like a year or two ago. At this point,
I just feel like
Well,
if
Xbox
they...
isn't getting the second one.
it's
Yeah,
still
that's-
weird. Square Enix and their decisions on what goes where will never cease to baffle me.
Yeah, it's
It
like
goes in the
Among
Square
other
Enix.
things
it
about
just-
Square Enix.
it just baffles
Square
me.
Enix just baffles me.
They're like, it just like I say, it baffles. Do you know what also baffles me? That this game, obviously, it's got a PlayStation and Nintendo port. It has a PS5 native version as
Yeah.
well. Just like, so they were like, no, we will not put this on Xbox, but we'll make two specific fucking versions of the pixel art video game for the PlayStation consoles.
Gotta ray trace those torchlights, man.
I'm just
Dude,
like-
have you seen the water in this game though? It's good looking water.
I'm like, it's pretty good looking water, to be fair. But
The PS2 GameCube generation in a nutshell.
what was the box art for Octopath 1?
It was the 8 travelers all lined up walking to the left.
In the fancy concept.
Yeah.
art looking
I just
stuff,
want to say
yeah.
the box
Yeah,
art for
and I-
Octopath Traveler 2 is far better than the box art for
Oh
Octopath
yeah,
Traveler
where they're
1.
all
It
just
is
like
very
around a
nice.
campfire,
Yeah.
showing
I will
personality. Yeah, it
hope-
looks
I'm
great.
hoping not in the future, but one day when the physical goes on discount, I will probably buy it and stick it on my shelf next to the first one and not play it. I think
Dude, you're
I think
missing
that
out.
I think no, they're great games, but I feel like they're a bit too classic JRPG for me, where I feel like I will not click with them. And I'd like the story and characters, I can guarantee, but I just think it's a gameplay hurdle for me. It's a gameplay hurdle.
He's got a point. Like
That's fair.
I was fighting with some of its more classic RPG-isms towards the end of my playthrough of the first game, and I played these games. I played older RPGs when I was growing up and stuff, and I'm still like, I don't have the time for the level grinding nonsense.
Yeah.
So if
That's
I
fair.
was struggling to pull myself through it, of course Ethan would,
I'd start playing.
yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. Like I say, And I'm happy to support, like I say, I'll buy it when it's cheaper, because I'm happy to support Square Enix when they're not making bullshit.
Yeah.
When Square makes good video games, I almost want to support them because I genuinely want to be like, yes, look, this is the good
Send
stuff that
the
you
message
should
that
be
you
making.
want this. More Octopaths.
Stop
and
making
less
Chocobo GP shit. Stop
Yeah.
making all this random
Stop.
games as a service bollocks that goes to fucking Salu death in 18 months. Please stop. I appreciate you not doing that, but it does look good.
And what happened to Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake?
Anyone
remember that?
I'll
Anyone
double
remember when they
down.
showed a trailer and then it just vanished?
I'll double it down
When
even
did they
more.
show
Where the hell
that?
is Dragon Quest 12? Because they
That's a good
announced that
point.
ages ago.
They
That
announced
to
Dragon
me-
Quest 12?
It was like
Yes.
the
Oh, never
same
mind. You
time.
witnessed it.
They announced at the same time, the exact same
They
day.
did?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
And it's like, I
Where
feel like
are
should've-
they?
That's probably this year.
Where's the
You'd
sauce,
think it'd be
Square?
this year.
I don't
That's
know.
very
They gotta
weird.
clear it with the Japanese government. Be like, when's the holiday gonna fall?
When's the bank holiday?
I genuinely, because I genuinely think that there'll be like, I bet you there's discussions at Square right now going, who's further ahead, Nomura with Remake Part 2 or the Dragon Quest team with 12? Who's further ahead? Because they're not releasing both of those in the same quarter, and I feel like one of them, they're both probably aiming for that, because Dragon Quest 12 was announced like 2 years ago. It's very weird. Anyway, next up
was Katamari. We love Katamari.
we do love Katamari.
That's
Plus
the game.
Royal
Yeah.
Reverie.
It's just another
The-
remaster, right? Is We
it's
Love
more
Katamari the
Katamari.
second game in the series?
Yeah.
We Love Katamari is it's a sequel
Yeah, it
to
was.
the Sleeper Heat. Yeah, okay, that's fun. I played the first one last year on Game Pass, and I had a lot of. It was fun. It was a fun afternoon, but also I very quickly got bored of it. So I was like, I played for every level, and I was like, I have no need to go and play the rest of it. It was fun though. I get why people like it. But it to me it seemed like a one and done. But hey, it's cool. I'm glad that it's getting a remaster. And I'm sure that is also going everywhere.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
After that, Sea of Stars got a release date.
Mhm.
Oh, that game looks real good too, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's another not JRPG, but like JRPG adjacent.
Inspired, yeah.
It's
It just-
inspired muchly by Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
It,
So
it,
much
it
so
very
they even
much
got the
made me-
composer.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And it's just like it was like I saw it and I was like, this is Honduras game. Just instantly goes to like Honduras game territory. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was made by the people who did like The Messenger, so which different genre, but they knew what they were doing. So this game will probably more than likely be pretty good.
This looks like it. It's like it does.
Oh.
It looks good.
And a
this looks
demo
good.
apparently dropped for this too. I didn't realize
Oh,
that.
nice.
Did you play
Or I
it?
might
Cal?
have forgotten.
Very cool. Yeah.
You didn't play it, Cal? Gosh, no.
No. I was playing
He was-
Guilty Gear all week.
This looks
He
like
was
a
busy
Cal.
playing
Cal,
the
this looks like you
Octopath
could
demo.
like it as well. To be fair, this looks like you.
Oh,
could play
yeah.
this one as well.
Yeah.
I think we said this during the show, like the direct, but if Hunter didn't pick this game up in the draft, I was going to. Just
Oh
'cause
yeah,
it
and then
looked
I said,
really
"Don't worry,
good.
if Hunter hadn't picked it, I wouldn't have picked it because I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was up till."
And yeah, it had been shown off at a couple of like the Indie World directs last year, so I had already known about it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool.
No, looks good. I'll check it out when it comes out.
Next,
And apparently played this demo that exists. After that was Omega Strike. This is like 3-on-3 hockey.
Yeah, the weird air hockey looking game.
I prediction this will cease updates in less than a year. I feel like this is gonna 100% be one of the. You know how like in the past couple of weeks we've had loads of games of the service games just
Yeah, like
die off a
Knockout City,
cliff. Knockout City,
Rumbleverse.
Rumbleverse, Apex Legends Mobile, Battlefield Mobile got cancelled straight out of Oblivion. You had.
Do you think that a bunch of people are about to like this being one of them are about to like launch one of these and have suddenly been like, oh no?
I think we've already hit that. I think Rumbleverse and Knockout City were an oh no. I feel like we knew this was coming. Eventually, there'd be this point in time where everybody tries to launch a games of the service and realize that no one has time for one games of a service, never mind 6 million of them.
Certainly not the 12 that PlayStation want to make. Wonder if they're pivoting over there by now.
I don't, like I say, I have no clue. Because it's like, I struggle to even keep up with one game or, complete a battle pass in one video game, never mind 2 or 3 or 4 or however many they think. It just seems like a bit of wasted effort. I would like to be proven wrong, but like I say, this just very much screams to me death in a year.
Yeah.
Let's hope that serves a beer to beer. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, next up.
After that was Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. This is an Atlas. It's 3 games made by Atlas that were put on the DS/3DS. I'm saying that because I don't remember if they were stuck to one console or not. But
Etrian Odyssey at some point was definitely on 3DS.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that was later entries. No clue.
I don't know either. Anyways, this exists.
They look like the old Persona or Shin Megami Tensei games. Like the way
You
you're
apparently
moving
had to
around.
draw your own map out in
to
these.
draw your own map. The fact that
as
they
Ethan
added
pointed out to me.
Yeah, the fact that they said the feature of create maps to chart your course, and then they say at the end that it's like auto map is like a new feature. I'm like, oh my god, that sounds like I say again, happy for fans of it. To me, that looks like work, not fun.
Yeah.
I get
It
annoyed
certainly
when
seems like a game that very much was structurally made for the DS as far as go in for your little bus
when
ride.
I get lost
and then
in games where I'm not even supposed to get lost. The fact that game is like, here's a big ass fucking maze, you draw the map. I'm like, no thank you. That sounds like my
You
personal
do it.
hell. Speaking of personal hells, Kirby's Return to
Kirby.
Dreamland is also coming. It's just Kirby in it.
yeah, Return to
Return to
Dreamland was
Dreamland.
the one
It's a
for
good
the
one.
Wii, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and the one that made the Subspace Emissary into a game.
It looks like Kirby. I'm not really a huge 2D Kirby fan, so this doesn't do anything for me. I think it's a really
I like
terrible.
how the one last year suddenly necessitates the need to say 2D Kirby.
Yeah.
before
I know, right?
Before you
But that's the thing.
say
The thing
it.
is, I haven't properly played Kirby in the Forbidden Land yet. The little bit that I did play of it, I thought was pretty decent. I had fun. I was just like, it's a bit too easy, so I don't want to buy it. So then I got it for Christmas, like 9 months later.
The classic.
Whereas this, obviously, it has a new story mode. I think it's really shitty for them to lock it behind the main game because I'm sure there'll be fans that have played this game a million times and just want to play the new content. Why can't you just do that? It's just, it's not hard.
It is weird.
But
also,
it looks
like
fine.
before this direct, they had a trailer for they made like a collection of Kirby's little mini games that have shown up in his other games before. You got like a little Mario Party mini game mode or whatever.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
And then it was GBA and GB Nintendo Switch Online. They finally did it. It's that time of the 2 years where they release something else on Nintendo Switch Online. And controversial opinion, I'm honestly starting to think that the expansion pass is starting to get to the point where if you are liking these, like if you like old games,
it's starting to get to the point where it would be worth
it's
it.
actually worth the money.
Like
they added some great games to the GBA lineup.
Yeah.
The GBA lineup's great, or the Game Boy regular is got a great lineup regardless. But also you get that on the regular pass. The regular pass wasn't expensive regardless. To be honest, I'm surprised they gave it to us on the regular because I don't ever play the NES or SNES games on the regular subscription, so it's like I'm already paying that just for the online. So it seems like a bit of a waste, personally. This is me saying, go on Nintendo, be dicks, put it on the expensive tier. But, there's plenty of good games, though. Some weird ones, like Alone in the Dark. Why the hell's that in there?
That game's art style that
was funny.
Looked super weird and jarring next to whatever came after and before it. Was like that was a weird little pocket of 5 seconds that I just looked at.
It was like Mario Land was what before it.
Them adding like Oracle of Seasons and Ages coming later. That's some good stuff, and then Game Boy getting Minish Cap and my favorite game, Mario Advanced 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. I love that. I love how they fucked that
Metroid
up.
Fusion.
the original
Metroid
Wario,
Fusion,
where
I'd love to try
everyone's
that one.
favorite video game, Kuro, and my favorite. Everyone loves that.
Was that thing with the stupid little thing that you're like
Yeah.
moving around?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that game?
propeller, yeah.
Was that an assist trophy in Smash Bros or something?
Yeah.
I feel like
think
I've seen
so.
that thing before.
I think it
Apparently
But I
was.
don't know
yeah.
why.
It wasn't released. Either wasn't released in Europe or it wasn't released in America, but it was released in the other one. So people were hyped. I don't know what order. Mario Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Minish Cap. Like I say, these are some great games. Like it's got to the
Yeah.
point now where when my regular subscription things goes up, it's like they could add some stuff here, and I'm like, yo, well, yeah. If I know they won't, but if they ever added a Pokemon, then I'd be like, okay, fuck it, you've got me here. I'm getting the
Dude.
expensive tier.
Dude, if they add Pokemon Gen 3 with like Pokemon Home compatibility,
That would be sick.
That'd
They
be the
wouldn't
selling
do
point.
that. I'm just hoping
That-
for Gen 3. That would be good enough for me. But you know, in fact, do you know what? I'm gonna say it because you get GBA. I think GBA N64 and Mega Drive with the expansions, if you don't own those expansions, is worth $50 a year. I think that's fair. If
Yeah.
you actually want to play those games, I think it's got to the point now where expansion pack is actually worth the money.
Yeah,
Especially because of the
foresee my-
backlog of N64 games now
Yeah.
that it's actually built up a bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I could see a future where, if, big releases. If we hit another space and time like some of the months last year where nothing's coming out and
I'm
I
in
needed
that
something to
period
play.
right now.
Yeah. And I needed something to play, I could foresee myself, paying for some of that, dedicating some time to playing like Metroid Fusion and Minish Cap and these other games that were on the N64 stuff if I wanted to play like Ocarina of Time again for some reason.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario, the Mario and Luigi game. There's a bunch of games there that, have been things I'd like to try. Golden Sun is supposed to come later, and I've heard nice things about that one.
I will say this though. I think this is the last update they do to Switch Online before whatever the next Switch successor is. I don't think we'll get GameCube.
They'll save the GameCube for the next one.
Let's hope that they're backwards compatible because I'm not doing this again where they go
They couldn't possibly
NES,
want to
Nintendo
start from
Switch 2
scratch
online.
again.
We're not doing this again.
Yeah, oh my god.
I also would
You'd-
like, in the similar way, I know PlayStation hasn't got many classics in their classic catalog. I would still love for a way for Nintendo to allow you to buy them individually.
Just
and
buy
just
them
own
separately. That
That'd
would
be
make
really
life so
nice.
much simpler for me.
And it'd
You'd
probably
be
make
like,
them a
"Yes, I
lot
will
more
s-
money. Because you're getting
yes,
$50 a year.
yes, I will take a purchase of Metroid Fusion for like
Yeah.
$10, please and thank you.
Yeah, it's like, would you can have my $50 a year for all the online, or you can have my $20 a year for the online, and then let me buy the games at like $10 to $15 a pop, and then you probably make more money off of me at the end of the day. Like, it's
Yeah.
just very weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably hurry up. We've been talking about this a lot. Let's speed this up a
This has
bit.
been going on a lot longer than I
Yeah.
thought it was going to.
There was a lot of
Metroid
games.
Prime out now.
Or
No, yeah, it
a
was.
couple of weeks
Or
if you want it physically.
That would be me.
Yeah.
We'll be talking
Same,
about this in a
and
couple of
it's-
weeks at some stage.
And it's even better because it's like the 23rd if you're in America, and it's not until the 3rd of March in Europe. I've already got my copy pre-ordered. I can't wait. I've heard nothing but great things about this remaster. It's apparently it's one of the best looking games on Switch. Apparently, that's how good of a job they've done. And they've called it a remaster, but according to people, Retro have basically replaced every single texture in the game, so it's not really much of a remaster.
So what you're saying is I should have been allowed to draft it when I tried to earlier this year.
No, because it's still the same game. They've just gone in and replaced every texture. They've not changed the code. They've just gone in and changed every texture.
Shoot. Whatever.
Yeah,
Still called
so
it.
close.
Don't worry, Hunter. We can add like 15 to your score mentally
It's
at the end of the year.
It's like 20 plus, dude. It's got like a 90 over 90
Oh.
on OpenCritic.
But never mind, you don't deserve it.
But yeah, I can't. I will definitely be picking it up. Can't wait. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Can't believe I have to wait till March 3rd just because I want the cartridge. Cringe. Oh, wow.
Alright.
Fucking Baten Kaitos. Is that how you say that? Or Baten Kaitos?
Baten Kaitos.
Baten Kaitos.
Baten Kaitos. Yeah.
1 and 2 HD remaster. These were RPGs made by Monolith Soft before they released Xenosaga.
Oh wow. I
So,
imagine that has its own little following of people that really like it then.
oh, it does.
Yeah.
And this is something I've wanted to check out for a long time, but these games were locked to the GameCube and cost $1 million. So,
Such
you
is the
know,
life of a GameCube game.
such is the life.
But now they're available on Switch in summer, and my god, that's an ugly, ugly logo. Anyway, it's one of those
Fantasy Life.
2000s logos where they're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how do we make it cool as possible by making it as messy as we fucking can? Let's squiggles all over that fucker. Get it in there.
One Piece logo design school.
Yeah. Anyway, we are
Fantasy
almost
Life.
there. Fancy Life, whatever the fuck this is. This was
I don't
not. I
know.
wanted Tomodachi
girl
Life.
who
I got
steals
Fantasy
time.
Life. This looks like a game.
It sure does.
Exist.
Cool. Moving on, Professor Layton
Professor
and the
Layton.
New World of Steam. After fucking nearly a decade of no new Layton,
Yeah, I'll be
It's finally
excited to
happening.
play this at some stage. I hope they bring the old games forward too, because I want to play those. I've wanted to play those for a long time, and just am a non-DS owning schlub.
So, fun fact: I'm just checking the Nintendo website because I was going to make a bold prediction, but now I'm not. Obviously, New World of Steam system. It has got listed as Nintendo Switch as the system. I was going to make a bold prediction to say that this is not a Nintendo Switch game and will be on the next console because they showed literally no footage. They just showed a fucking GIF of Professor Layton turning around.
I mean, even they could make the most high-end Professor Layton game possible, and I think that even then, like if in the hypothetical scenario that the next Switch is reverse compatible, you could make it one of those cross generational things.
And then the only thing that we can say is that it says the newest entry in the Layton series, Professor Layton and Luke face new puzzles in a fresh setting. So there's and we lost Hunter.
Oh no. Bye,
He's
bye,
back.
monkey.
He doesn't like Professor Layton apparently.
Apparently not. Dude,
And
good thing
we-
my webcam fixed itself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have an issue.
Otherwise, we would have had a problem. Hello, Hunter.
Hey,
What's going
welcome back.
on?
I don't know.
All I know is I need to now make a
Theme.
timestamp of that because if I do use my audio, there'll be a Discord noise, so I need to sort that out. Anyway, so yeah, Luke is also in the game, which is no surprise to anybody, but don't know
'Cause
why
that's
they're
his
confirming that.
sidekick.
Yeah,
Mm.
don't know why they're confirming that on the website and not anywhere else, but hey, there you go. Anyway,
Mario Kart 8.
When's this
Wait for-
stupid expansion pass end? I'm tired of hearing about it.
at the end of this year.
Good.
How many waves of it are there? Were there like 8 waves of this
Too
or
many.
something?
6? No, it is 8,
6?
isn't it?
I don't know. I don't own the video
No, it's-
game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's oh my god! Now I don't know. No, it is 8 waves. So this is the halfway point. We're not even half done. They're falling behind.
I hate it here. I'm gonna have to hear about this at every direct still
Yeah, 8
for like
courses
another
to
year
really-
and a
yeah.
half.
Oh, no, it is 6 waves. It's only.
Oh, thank God.
only
It's
6 waves.
6? Okay.
Only have to hear about it for the next 2
Yeah,
directs.
'cause it's 40 tracks.
Mercifully.
And it's 8 waves at a time. So yeah, 8, 16. No, that's
Ah.
not right.
Okay.
Yeah. 8, 16, 24. Is it 40? 48 tracks? Yeah, 48 tracks. That's it. Oh my god, I'm losing the world. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. So
Don't worry, we're almost done.
this is the second half. I mean, it's cool that they're now adding characters as well as things. Like, I feel like if you
Yeah.
play Mario Kart 8 a lot, it's very much worth the money just because you get like double the tracks, and they're now adding new characters like Birdo and stuff like that. It's fair enough. But I'm also sick of hearing about it, to be honest, because
Yeah.
the courses, the quality of the courses, although getting better, are still not to the same standard as the original Mario Kart 8. And then finally, there was a highlight montage, but who cares about that?
Who cares about that?
Yeah, that was not in Nintendo Life's little thing there. Whatever showed up on that.
Who cares?
Who cares? Because
We
we
didn't.
got Link driving a car.
Oh, hell yeah. So, Tears of the Kingdom. We got another trailer.
A full trailer.
I wouldn't go that fucking far.
It's better than what we've been getting.
True. Here, controversial take. I don't think this was a good trailer. I think it was a fine trailer. I think it did the job. I think it was like, it hit the boxes. It had the orchestra. It had Matt Mercer as Ganon, which is very cool. I appreciate that.
That will be very cool.
But it's just like, it's genuinely at the point now where I think there's a reason they're not showing us footage of this video game. And not in a malicious way. I feel like there's a twist or there's something big that happens where they...
I hope so. And I'm glad they're not showing us anything. I'd rather figure this out.
They didn't show any of, like, long-haired Link with the weird arm, with the green tunic. They showed none of him in this trailer at all.
Yeah. It was missing.
So I'm just like, I don't know what to really think about this game at the moment. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be amazing. Of course it is. But this trailer, it did nothing for me. It did absolutely nothing for me. If anything, I was more like, you know what? Yeah, it was a full trailer. I also didn't need to see a single bit of it, really. It didn't add anything to my hype. I
feel like that could summarize my emotions for whatever they show me in these is additive. They could have told me back in 2019 it's coming, and then when they could finally tell me when it's coming, just stamp that on the screen, be like, this is when it's going to be available to buy, and I'll be like, I'd be there because Breath of the Wild was awesome.
It's gonna be fun. I know, like I say, it's gonna be a great game. We know it's gonna be a great game. Can't wait to play it. There's some cool stuff that they do show, but again, I feel like we could have very easily
the vehicular construction, the way that it was just the way that it was edited in the trailer was really amusing because it was like
really
doom, despair, and then he's driving the little cart.
It's like
flying the craft and then back to doom and despair.
Literally, the way the trailer goes is just like it's just really stupid. How it's like suspense, despair, misery. I don't know if you can do this, Link. He jumps off. He starts doing the epic gliding to the fanfare, and then fucking vroom, and then that was it. That was like the trailer. He's like, like off he goes.
I will say that I like that they've taken the weird jank way that people made traveling happen in Breath of the Wild and just turned it into something
and giving you the tools to make your own jank thing.
I like that they took that and made it. That was cool because like some of my favorite things about Breath of the Wild, looking back on it after I had played it twice, was still years later seeing just the crazy things that people would figure out how to do in it. I loved that.
Dude, I hope this game still gives us good Twitter clips because if you ever saw like on Twitter just like Japanese text and Breath of the Wild together, you knew something bonkers was.
You were in for a good 20 seconds.
It was gonna be the silliest 20 seconds of your life.
Ugh. You knew it. It's like I say, you know it's gonna be a great game, but at this point, it's like we've had roughly, give or take, about 6 minutes of this game shown. Roughly.
Yeah.
And we know fuck all about the story, which I'm fine with. We know fuck all about the game either, which I'm also fine with. But I'm sick of this stupid thing that we're in, where they keep giving us trailers, and I'm like... Usually I'm like, I don't need to see this because you're showing too much. But I'm like, I don't need to see this because you're showing nothing and wasting my time. You showed me a car, very cool. I'm happy that you showed me the car. But I'd also like to know, just like a basic
You would have
thing,
hated being invested in Death Stranding before the game came
Are we having dungeons this time? Are we
I don't know.
Having the shrines? Are we even having
I don't think so. When I was watching the trailer again, because I did watch it like 7 times, I was looking around the background while he was doing stuff, and there were no shrines. I didn't see anything that looked like the shrines or that could be the shrines, and that could just be their selective editing for what they were showing off, but there was nothing that drew my attention like, yes, that'll be that structure there will be what the shrines are this game. So, you know,
Can't believe
But
Hunter booted up
like
the
I say,
analysis
I
machine.
think I genuinely, I'm saying this like because I haven't let me go back in the trailer real quick because it's like I say, I don't know what to really think about this trailer because, like I say, he's got the blue tunic on. He's got his Breath of the Wild 1 costume on basically for the entirety of this trailer.
yeah.
But he has the arm. He has the weird arm underneath those clothes. So it's like, why aren't they showing us him as the new model basically? And it's like,
Yeah, the one that the official artwork got shown of
yeah.
after the trailer. It is
Also,
weird,
why? Yeah,
huh?
Zelda's got a Switch now. They were just like, yeah, the Wii U tablet.
It's gonna be
wasn't
how
cool
she
enough. Now
programs
it's
the
just
robot
yeah.
arm.
I'm just gonna say this much: they have really done themselves a disservice if the special edition Switch is not Zelda's tablet. Like they've done
Honestly.
they've actually taken an L there if that's not what they do. But like I say,
You'd think
it's
they
cool.
would have like made a Sheikah Slate model of the or special Sheikah Slate thing for the Switch in the first place.
There's a dragon on that bridge. That's cool. Like I
Is-
say,
That's not a shrine.
like I say,
dragons
Hunter's
are the
right. I can't
shrines.
see
Oh,
any
baby.
shrines.
Yeah,
Like the Dragon Slayer.
I didn't spot any, so it'll be whatever they've got in store for us. I think will be plenty of fun.
I'm sure it will be, but I just kind of, as selfish as it is, I'm almost like, don't show us the trick. Like you could have not given us that one. Like I'm very like, and not in a kind of like you've shown too much or I don't want to see any more kind of way. Just kind of like, no, seriously, like I was already hyped, and this hasn't waned me or done anything to make me even more excited. You have just shown a trailer for Zelda, and it's not the epic story final trailer that we will probably
it's
get
not
in
the
2 months'
sequel to the
time.
trailer that they showed for Breath of the Wild before it was time to come out. Because if they do make a trailer like that, I will be happy. If it's another one like this, I will shrug. I'll probably still watch it like 5 times, but I will still shrug.
It's such a weird game because, like you say, their next direct is probably E3, so we will not get another direct for Zelda. We might get a Zelda specific direct. I hope they don't.
Yeah, I also don't think I probably wouldn't watch it if they have like a little trailer at the end of it or beginning of it. I would watch that. I would not watch the 15 minutes where they show me what the game is going to be because it doesn't matter what the game is going to be at this stage. I'd prefer to not know.
And this is how you make friends with horses.
Yeah.
It's just like I say, very bizarre. And that was the end of
It's
the
like
direct.
it was like after they showed off the 2016 trailer for Breath of the Wild and they had like the hours of treehouse stuff afterwards. I'm like, I don't need to see any of this.
Mm.
I just couldn't be bothered to watch it. That's why.
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm very much looking forward to it. I put a week off of work because I'm fucking excited about it. But it's one of those games where we've been waiting for this game for so long that I'm not like itching at it. Like, it's like when it comes out in May, I'll be like, oh, cool, it's Zelda time. Let's go. I'm very happy. But I'm not like, it's just not one of those games where I'm just sitting there eagerly at the bit going, I need the game, I need the game, I need the game. I'm just like, show me that. I'll be excited when you show me that cool story trailer where we finally get the, the epic. We've already had a bit of the epic orchestra, but you properly like go for it.
Oh yeah, the cool ominous
That's when
choir
I'll
after
be
the thunder
excited.
strikes. That
Yeah.
looks cool.
That's when I'll be excited. We'll see. Like I say, it'll be fun. We've only got 3 months to wait. As of recording, it is exactly 3 months for me. It is February 12th for me right now.
3 months plus a couple of hours for us.
3 months to go. Ooh, I can't
Less than
wait.
100 days.
That's crazy. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And that's the direct. Overall, I give it a solid 8. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it in review, like big picture, it was definitely a lot better than it was being
Experiencing
shown.
it.
Yeah, watching it live, it's like, okay, this is going real slow. But, in hindsight, a lot of cool stuff was shown.
Yeah, I'd say I like it more than the Farm Direct.
Yeah,
before.
it's like I
Yeah.
say, It's an interesting one, and I think it does show that Nintendo's probably going to have a bit of a quieter year this year, which
Mhm.
is not quiet because of Zelda, but also it is a quiet year. I don't care what people say. I like Zelda as much as everybody else, but same year with Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was a quiet year. I don't care if Animal Crossing
Yeah.
came out; it was a quiet year. Same with this one. I
Well,
don't care if Zelda's here;
it's
it's
kind
a
of
quiet year.
where the releases that aren't Zelda are just kind of lower key. Because like if you only had a Switch to play things on, you would still be getting things. It's just not like things that everyone is gonna need to jump on and play. Like I'm sure people are excited to play that Kirby game that comes out
Yeah,
this
Kirby's
month.
hype.
I don't whatever they've got for March is escaping me, but Advance Wars, if you only had a Switch, was a game for April, and then Zelda afterwards. So
Yeah,
eh.
this stuff. It's just like I say. I feel like, and it doesn't help with Switch, that we've had a lot of the bangers, right? It's like we are at the end of a generation where it's like, we know we're not getting, well, unfortunately, this is true for this entire Switch generation. We know we're not getting a new Mario Kart until a new generation of consoles. We know that we're not getting a new Animal Crossing until the next generation of Nintendo's console. We know we're not going to get probably another Mario until the next generation of consoles. It's like we're waiting now. It's like we're at the end of that cycle. A lot of the IP has come and gone, and now we're just waiting for that cycle to start up again. So when that new console gets announced, we're like, where's the new Mario? Where's the new Mario Kart? Where is it? Where's Animal Crossing? The Smash Bros.
Where's Smash?
The Smash Bros. YouTubers
Oh
can
my
finally come
God.
out of their crypts and go, there's a new leak. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh.
I hope
It's
Smash
Portal
Bros.
Gino's
G's
in
and
this
Smash.
Smash.
I hope
6.
Smash Bros stays buried for like half the console cycle.
To be honest,
I hope it's Melee HD.
I honestly preferred it when they got it out of the way in the second year. I think that was a great time for it because I was sick of hearing people go, "When Smash Bros?" Like, oh my god, please don't.
The
do that."
problem there became that the additional stuff went on for too long.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree. Next time, don't have them be 12 characters over the course of like 2.5 years. That's not fun. But hey, it's all fun in games. Anyway, Hunter, what have you been playing?
Yeah.
Quick recap. What you've been playing?
All right, so
We're already
last
an hour
night,
and 27 minutes in. Ah!
I'm
I
like, we're
know.
still doing this? I thought we were just gonna
It's-
end it.
Yeah,
No.
but
Okay.
all right. So last night I started playing A Way Out, the Joseph Ferris game that
I played
was
that
made.
last year.
Yeah, the Joseph Ferris game that he made before It Takes
Takes
Two.
Two.
Yeah, my brother was like, "Hey, I want to play this," because he bought it like months ago, and the games he was trying to play had annoyed him minutes before he asked me about that. So I was like, "Sure, let's start it up." And it's a cool little co-op adventure. I don't really know how to co-op. You're trying to escape prison. Most of the puzzles involve someone distracting a guard while you do something else with the second person.
Yeah.
At the beginning, when it has you select the characters, it was funny because we're sitting on our respective sides of the screen, and for whatever reason, for when we selected them, we both chose the opposite people. Like, so we would be looking across the screen like diagonally, and then when we actually started Control, it was like he was like, "No, wait, we switch me controllers. I can't do this." It was
Swap
funny
controllers.
because
I would have been like, let's just swap sides of the couch. Like, not like, oh yeah. No, swap controllers. We're swapping characters. I can't deal with this.
it was funny though, because like I had noticed like a split like 30 seconds before. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just gonna be looking like this the whole time I'm playing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna argue with him, and then he's like, no, I can't do this. But it's a fun little time. It was we got to one of the last things we did was, or no, it was one of the things we got to was the little, push against each other's
Oh,
backs
against
and
the
like
wall,
climb.
yeah.
It was funny. We got each other killed because we mistimed it. Yeah, it was fun, silly shenanigans can be had in this game, and that's
it's a fun,
nice.
It's a fun time. It's a fun
Yeah.
time. I enjoyed it when I played it last year.
Yeah. And the other game that I've been playing today is Immortality, that Sam Barlow game that came out last year. And it's like a mystery game where this fictional actress, Marissa Marcel, I believe, Like it's very hard for me to remember the character's name because I just know the actual Man Gage. The actress name
yeah.
is what I've assigned to her in my memory already. But this fictional actress had like 3 movies that never saw release, and you're supposed to like piece them together through the weird use of this video editing machine thing. I'm not really sure. The setup is weird and abstract, but it's been fun so far. Like the way it works is essentially you'll look at one thing, like you'll look at one video clip, and you're just clicking around on either people's faces or objects in the background or stuff, any kind of notable thing that you might be able to look at. You can click on it, it'll take you to something else across the scene in one of these 3 movies. And basically the way I decided to break it up was try and see as much of one movie as possible while I'm, and go movie by movie to start with. And unfortunately, the one I picked was just the first one that got presented to me. Was like this took place in like 1700s Spain, very religiously themed, and like, oh no, I gotta listen to the silly old timey religious drivel for the dialogue, and that is not a fun time. But the way it's performed, like all of the performances are pretty solid. Uh, um, I eventually hit a scene from one of the other movies where finally it seemed like, because at first I was like, is there an actual mystery here besides piecing the timeline together? But there were some other weird things going on. I finally discovered one like an hour before we assembled here, where I was like watching something. I was like rewinding because sometimes you gotta,
Okay, you found it. Okay.
yeah, you gotta rewind it to get like, I was just gonna click on like, I think I was clicking on knives or something, or some object that had left the frame, and then suddenly some kind of weird little playing it in reverse sent me to a new like hidden scene that you couldn't select before at all, and I'm like, oh, I found the point of the game. Very cool. So
Yeah, that's the bit,
I'll
because
be
at first
excited to
because at first I was like, well, one, that game very much, when you play it on PC, they're like, we recommend you use a controller for this game. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why are you recommending I use a controller like for what is effectively a live
that
action
is
video
weird.
game? You're like, hey, yeah, it's just me watching movies. What the fuck? And then it's like, when I heard about what the mechanic was, where it was like, okay, and what they do with it, I was like, okay, that's quite creepy. I don't like that. That's like, I'm like, no, we're not playing that.
So
It
yeah,
creeps me
like
out.
after that, like I haven't started on this little quest yet, but I'm eventually just gonna start watching things, like just piece through them in reverse and see what I get. Like at first my method was pretty solid, where I was like, I'm not gonna click on Marissa's face for everything because that'll just take me anywhere. So I started like just clicking on side characters in the one movie's faces to get as many scenes of them out of the way as possible. And then I started clicking on other objects. Like there was this kind of, you know, evil crown when the devil popped up in the one religious movie. And so I clicked on that a couple of times, and it just took me on a fun little thing. But now that I've found like the cool stuff, I can't wait to try and find more of that.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff to be found. And yeah, it's a very creepy game from the bits and pieces that I've seen of it.
Yeah, there is some of this. There is some of the silliness in the game that is a little weird, in the sense that like there's just this strange voyeuristic quality to a lot of the scenes that I'm like, I don't really like this. Like I like piecing together the mysteries and stuff, but the director of the one movie, because not only do they show you like the scenes from the movie, but you get like the before and after, like the little take one, blah blah. The one director is a creep. Like I don't like you. I don't like you at all. You weirdo. But yeah, so immortality is interesting.
Yeah. Very cool. You should go and check it out if you like horror games and you like the idea of creepily putting together bits and pieces of a story that may or may not exist.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll wrap it up there because we've been going on long enough. Because all my little thing that I wanted to say was just like, I have no clue what to fucking do for the next 2 months. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh,
You
That's
were
what
just
I
gonna
need out
take
of
like recommendations from the audience.
No, well, I was like, I've got loads of things that I could play, right? I could. Well, we're talking about it now, so I'll fucking talk about it. But it's like, it's like I've got so much time before the next game I'm playing is Star Wars Jedi, blah de blee blah 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 blah.
and that got delayed by a month.
April, yeah. So it's like I've got nothing from now until April to play, and I don't know what to do with my time because it's like I was like I could play Yakuza, but I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. I could play the Dark Souls games, but I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. I could go and continue playing Fire Emblem, but I know I don't want to go and do that. So
You
it's like I
don't.
just I don't know. I just feel kind of bored. I'm like I don't know what to do.
Oh man, you've got a whole NES and SNES library on your
That's
Switch.
fucking gross. No, cringe.
Nah,
cringe,
dude, it's
cringe,
great.
cringe.
Go play Donkey Kong.
I've played so
Go
many
play Donkey
fucking
Kong.
platformers
Go
and
play
shit.
Donkey Kong 2.
No.
Go play Donkey Kong Country 3, the one with Kiddy Kong.
Yeah.
Kiddy Kong was such a weird character.
I don't know. It's
I
just
didn't
like
like
I
him.
say, I'm just very I don't know what to do, like genuinely, because I'm not picking up a game till Star Wars Jedi, and I'm like, there was a part of me that was like, I could carry on playing Yakuza. I played 0 like a year and a half ago. I should go play 1, and then I booted up 1 and I watched the first cutscene. And I was like, this is cool. I also don't remember what the fuck happened in 0. So now what do I do? Do I go back and replay 0 again and
No,
then get
you
stuck in the
don't.
Cabby
No,
Ray
just-
Club mini
just
game for
wing
another
it.
13 hours? Or
Just play the video game.
I don't know what to do.
The people
So I
who
could do
played
that.
1 the first time didn't know what happened in 0 either. You'll be okay.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
liked 0. And it's like, I don't know. It's just to me, I'm just like, I'm not 100% into it. I think that's why. It's because like, I'm not 100% like, I want to do this. I could go back and finish Persona 5 because I stopped in Palace 3, like Greg Miller. And I just like, I just don't know when to go back. And I don't know if I want to go back right now, really. I don't know if I'm feeling it because I don't have the time to put into it. You know? I just don't have time. And I've played way too many platformers, so I can't play Psychonauts. I'm just in a rut, man. I'm just in a rut.
Oh shoot.
I played Sly 4. That's what I did.
I like looked down at my little PS4 games that are on my shelf here, and the first thing besides Crash that I looked at was like Catherine. I'm like, that's technically like a puzzle platformy thing too.
Yeah,
So-
I could play Catherine, but also I don't really feel like it. I've played so many platformers. Like I say, I've played all 4 Sly games this year. I played Gravity Rush again this year. I played The Pathless, which is a bit of a platformy kind of game. There's a lot of jumping around and exploring, so it's like it scratches that itch. I played an indie game called Omno, which is also a bit of a platformy kind of game. So it's like I've played a load of platformers. Crash 1 and 2 NST. Like I said, I just played Sly 4 and I think I'm done. Although was nice. Obviously played it for the 10th anniversary. Still like that game. People give that game way too much flack. It's pretty decent. There's a plot twist in it that it's not very good, but if you ignore that, the rest of the game is pretty great. You guys are haters. But fun fact, I started the game on February 5th, which was the 10th anniversary, and I didn't intend to do this, but I got the platinum today, the 11th, and then I checked when was the day I
that when
first
you
played
got
it, which was the first day I played Sly 4 on the PS3 10 years ago, because I had to import an American copy in because the PAL version didn't come out till the end of March. So
yeah.
kind of worked out, which was quite nice. But I'm just like, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. This is what getting old is, where I have like 2 hours to play a video game, and I'm just like, how about nothing?
How about no? Yeah.
How about
That's-
no?
That's funny.
How about bed instead?
Yeah, well, I'm not
Maybe.
like that. I'm like, I get in, and I'm like, well, I have like 2 hours tops to play something, and then it's like, because either then I'll be too tired or a friend will want to play a multiplayer game or something like that, and then it's like, well, that's my evening done. Good night. See you next time. Maybe we'll try again. It's just, I just don't know what to do. So if you have any ideas, let me know. As long as it's not playing old games or playing really long games, I'm not like, don't want to do either of those.
How old are we talking?
Old.
What's the cutoff?
Like if I can't play it on my PS4 and I don't own it.
No.
I'm not in the mood to buy new games or go into old school territory. I'm not in the mood.
Okay.
I spend enough on video games.
For the past 5 minutes, I've still been expecting Kyle to yet again say Octopath Traveler.
Don't
No.
think it didn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude, that's a good game to play in short bursts.
Yeah, but I also
You say
have
you've
other
got
games.
2 hours?
But he doesn't
No,
wanna.
I don't want it. Gross. I also have loads of Switch games that I just won't play.
Dude, hear me out. You already own Octopath. Just try it.
No, hear me out. No.
What about Live Alive? Did you play that one yet? I know you own it.
No,
But
I've
did
not
you
played.
play it?
I've not played Bayonetta 3 or Live Alive or Kirby.
Or
I've not played
Kirby.
any of them,
Oof.
and I don't plan on it anyway anytime soon because I've played. My hack and slash
What the
itch went
are
with
you
hi-fi.
doing?
Well, no, my hack and slash itch went with hi-fi. I played that. Don't need to play another one for a while. I don't have the
Yeah.
JRPG bug right now, so I don't want to play any JRPG particularly. I was only maybe going to play Yakuza just because I wanted to do the karaoke mini game. I'm not going to lie, it's not because I'm actually there for the real fucking gameplay. I just want to tap some buttons, bro. Anyway, it's fine. I'm just having a midlife crisis at the age of 25 over video games. It's fine. It's fine. I'll live. I'm just not going to be very much use on this podcast, it seems.
Well, you know.
So next week, come back for
You've
our
got
1 hour
Paramore to keep
discussion
you
on the
company.
Paramore album that just came out. We didn't have time this
Oh,
week.
this gives me time to listen to it now.
Hunter, it's 30 minutes.
Dude, I'm not a hardcore Paramore fan. I didn't even know it really
fair.
came out until Ethan said something. I just
I didn't know
they're,
it came
like-
out until I was told that it came out on the day because I didn't know what the release date was. And
I
was
didn't
like, oh,
know it
it's
came
today.
out either until my
That's-
sister
that's-
asked me if I heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm
I-
like, nope.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
just
it's
know
today.
the hits from Paramore. I don't know like their deeper discography or anything like
Well,
that.
come back next week where we will 100% talk about it, and we won't have forgotten about talking about it next week. I swear, guys. We'll
Provided nothing happens in video game land. We
what could
promise.
possibly happen? Is there even a game out next week?
No.
Xenoblade Wave 3, but
Oh,
that's not
that's good,
the
that's gonna
thing.
take- that's
Other
gonna
than that,
take
yeah, no, there's
fucking
nothing.
5 minutes.
I mean,
So yeah,
yeah,
plenty of stuff to talk
nothing.
about. Anyway, I'm about to
Plenty
pass
of
out.
Paramore to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass out from
Yeah.
exhaustion, so I'm just gonna put our links on screen right now. They're in the description if you want to check us out. You follow us on Twitter, keep up to date with everything we do outside the podcast. Oh my gosh, the wave of tiredness is just like taken over me. It's like hit that past that half 2 points, like gonzo. But anyway, I've got to do the thingy. If you blah 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 blah, go follow us on Twitter. Gamers Only. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Gamers Only. And hey, if you don't want to look at our stupid faces, that's cool too. You can go to your favorite podcast service, search for Hot Gamers Only on your favorite podcast service, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, you name it. We're on it. You go find it. You know what to do. Dooby dooby doo, bop bop bop. There you go.
Where are you?
Impressive.
But there you go. Well, we're done. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. I don't know how to end this. I don't know why. I don't know why. The last like 3 minutes, my brain's just like gone. It's just like sleep mode engaged. You're done. It's fine. It's all good. It's fine. Anyway,
Shit just happens, man.
it happens. Anyway,
Maybe
thank you so
food.
much. Yeah, no, I do not need food. That'll keep me up. Anyway, thank you so much for listening / watching. We'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But until then, have an awesome week. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.